What's going on, everyone? I'm back with week 2 of the WSS. This time we're going to be taking on MLG Popplio, coach of the Enschede Ponytas. Probably mispronounced that, but whatever. Let's just jump right into the teams here. If you don't know my team, I have Ho-Oh, Tapu Koko, Garchomp, Celebi, Horlucha, Alolan Muck, Primarina, Fortress, Mismagius, Smeargle, and Zerosian. Whereas my opponent has Celesteela, Kyurem-Black, Clefable, Serperior, Arcanine, Mega Blastoise, Hippowdon, Chansey, Silvally, Gothorita, and Minun. So he definitely has a powerful team. He decided to not actually pick up an Uber for his draft, which is interesting, but in exchange he has two of like the best mons in the format if Ubers weren't allowed, in Celesteela and Kyurem-Black, so that is definitely a really terrifying core right there. And he also has like Clefable, which is amazing, and Serperior. Serperior is really annoying, I think, especially for my team, I feel. So yeah, that thing's a problem. He just has a really solid team. Arcanine, Mega Blastoise, Hippowdon, and Chansey. He's got a really solid team here. So anyway, let's jump into the 6 mons I decided to bring versus him. So first up here, I have a Garchomp with Rocky MZ, Rough Skin, Swords Dance, Stone Edge, Earthquake, and Fire Fang. We have 200 speed, Jolly, max attack, and 56 into HP. The speed is just enough to outspeed Kyurem-Black, which is really nice because that thing is a really big problem to my team, and it could potentially just win. Like, the biggest threats to my team are definitely the Kyurem-Black, the Celesteela, and I also feel the Serperior. However, Celesteela's a little bit more easier to handle, seeing I have like Koko and Ho-Oh, but for sure that Kyurem-Black and Serperior are huge problems. And yeah, honestly, Kyurem-Black could just win the game straight up. So this being faster than it is really nice. However, it could be Scarfed. Scarfed Kyurem-Black could also be a problem, but I'm going to have to look out for that for sure. So then we just have max attack and the rest into HP. This Garchomp actually kind of dominates him. SD, Stone Age, and Earthquake just hits his entire team except for like the Celesteela, which Stone Age still hits, but I just have Fire Fang there, a bit more reliable. And the Rocky MZ can kind of just destroy anything I want on his team. Like, the only thing that like really wants to take a Rocky MZ would be the Hippowdon. Besides that, I can kind of just blow something away, which is really nice. Another thing to note is it always kills a Kyurem-Black if it doesn't have any investment into HP. So this is really nice to have, and it could be a potential win con. So that's going to be the Garchomp straight up here. Next up, we have Koko. I have Leftovers, Wild Charge, U-Turn, Taunt, Roost. Oh my gosh, this EV spread. The reasoning for this... Sorry guys, I played this game a while ago, so this might be a bit wrong. However, the speed I know is for the Serperior. I want to be able to outspeed that. Serp could also be Scarfed, but again, like, if it is Scarfed, it will make it a little bit more easy to deal with in some ways. Now, what is this investment for? This is kind of crazy. I honestly don't know if I can remember what this investment's for. I know I wanted to take some kind of hit. What that was exactly, I think this is to take hits better from the Clefable and Chansey, because obviously I just put like the rest into attack with an Adamant Nature to hit as hard as possible, but also I don't need to be able to hit the Chansey and the Clefable that hard, because I beat them 1v1 anyway, and I don't want to be weakening myself down with a recall plus like Moonblast chip. That could end up being a bit of a problem, so I figured just taking hits a bit better from them will be nice. Obviously the combination of Taunt plus Roost will beat the Chansey and will beat the Clefable, which is really cool for sure to shut them down. The other thing to note is with the Garchomp, with SD, the only other way he has to stop it is like a unaware Clef, and if it's unaware then it's not Magic Guard, which leads into Fortress, which is next. But yeah, this Koko kind of just also really difficult for him to deal with. Like, his Wild Charge responses, practically just the Hippowdon and the Kyurem-Black. Kyurem-Black, if I can weaken that down, would be great. However, again, like, this kind of just loses to the Kyurem-Black, which is why I was considering putting like Dazzling Gleam on this or something, but I decided not to because I felt like this was better, being able to U-turn out. And the Hippowdon on the Serperior as well, we can do so much to Serp with the U-turn. Wild Charge just kind of hits everything else. So yeah, and like if the Hippowdon's poison, then I'm fine with just you turning out on that. Taunt plus Roost, as I said, shuts down the Chansey and the Clefable, which is really nice. So then we have a Fortress here with the Ockerberry, Toxic Spike, Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, Gyro Ball. Just completely max defense. This is to be able to take hits from the Kyurem-Black as best as possible if it's more like physical. And then, because special hits we can take pretty nicely anyway from the Kyurem-Black, the only thing to watch out for is the Hidden Power Fire, and that's why we have the Ockerberry on there. It could be Z-Move. Z-Move we still take. We take any hit from the Kyurem-Black, which is why I think this could be a good lead. I can also chip it down with the Gyro Ball. If he does want to get rocked up, I have Rapid Spin on this, and then Stealth Rock plus T-Spikes is really nice. Stealth Rock's really great for the Kyurem, the Arcanine, and then T-Spikes is honestly really great for the vast majority of his team. The only thing it really doesn't hurt is the Celesteela. But besides that, being able to get a Toxic off on the Hippowdon Mega Blastoise, like the Superior, if it's like a more annoying sub-Serp set, then that's really nice in general, and it also helps my other threats out. So that's Fortress here, and also yeah, Sturdy will not help me versus Kyurem-Black, which is why I'm running Ockerberry, because of the ability. What's the ability called? I'm not even sure. It's like, it acts like Mold Breaker though. Anyways, we have Miss Magius up next. This is another really solid win con, honestly. We have the Spooky Play on this. Taunt, Nasty Plot, Shadow Ball, Energy Ball, 176 speed, Timid, max special attack, and the rest in HP. This again outspeeds the Kyurem-Black, which is definitely really important. And again, the same with the Coco. This can shut down the Clefable. This can shut down the Chansey and actually just completely wall it, because most likely its only like offensive move will be the Seismic Toss, which of course we're immune to. This can shut that down, set up on that. Hippowdon, if it's not carrying Stone Edge, I think it will be carrying Stone Edge for my Ho, but if it's not, then we can completely wall that potentially as well. If he's like Earthquake, Slack Off, Toxic, and whatever, Stealth Rocks, we could potentially be able to completely wall that. And Shadow Ball plus Energy Ball hits his entire team, which yeah, this could just definitely straight up win. It's really scary versus him. The Spooky Play lets my Shadow Ball hit a bit harder, which is honestly quite nice for the Celesteela and the Kyurem-Black and such. Just being able to hit that much more harder. Definitely really nice. Next up, we have Ho-Oh with the Expert Belt. We have Sub, Flamethrower, Earth Power, Giga Drain, Max HP, 96 Special Attack, minus 160 Speed. Not sure what this speed is for. Pretty sure it might be for the Blastoise. However, don't count on that. Max HP, I just want this to be able to take hits relatively well. I believe with the Max HP, I can take a Kyurem-Black's Fusion Bolt. I can take I think I can even take a Stone Edge from, yeah, I'm pretty sure I can take a Stone Edge from Hippowdon. Maybe, I don't think I can take it from Blastoise, maybe though. So yeah, just to be able to take hits a little bit better. And yeah, we have Sub with 3 attacks, Flamethrower for the Celesteela, Superior, stuff like that. Then we have Earth Power, mainly just there for the Arcanine, and then Giga Drain for the Mega Blastoise and the Hippowdon, because he probably thinks like his Hippowdon or Mega Blastoise would be a pretty good response to this. However, if I get a Sub up and they're Toxic and I can just start Giga Draining them down, that in conjunction with the Regenerator is going to be really annoying for them to deal with. The only thing about this is because I went with Flamethrower over Sacred Fire, the Chansey can just kind of wall this. So that's definitely annoying. However, I really contemplated putting Sacred Fire over Flamethrower. Potentially I should have, but I think it'll be fine. We're going to go with the Flamethrower. And finally here we have Lolan Muck with the Figgy Berry, Knockoff, Poison Jab, Recycle, Memento, 248 attack, Adamant, Max Speed F, 8 into Speed. This is basically something that can take hits from the Kyurem pretty well. It can also take hits from the Superior and the Mega Blastoise, because all of those are really difficult for my team to switch into. So this can switch into them, has the Figgy Berry, can recycle it. Honestly, is a really good response. Knockoff plus Poison Jab hits everything, which is really really nice. Can just get rid of like a Violite on Chansey. Doesn't really have the best. He doesn't really have mons that want to switch into Knockoff. Then we have Poison Jab, and finally I have Memento Just as a final move there, potentially can let me go into like Garchomp setup, Mismagius setup, and win the game. So yeah, that's going to be the team. Let's go ahead and jump over to the battle. Alright, so my opponent decided to bring the Clefable, the Chansey, the Hippowdon, the Mega Blastoise, the Kyurem, and the Celesteela. Pretty much everything I expected. But I wasn't completely sure if he wanted to get to bring the Celesteela, and I'm honestly really happy that he didn't bring the Serp, so that's definitely a huge plus here. So just looking at this game beforehand, mons that look really nice, like I mentioned in the team builder. The Garchomp looks actually really great here. If I SD up, it doesn't look like he has that many great responses unless that is an unaware clef. The Coco also looks nice to be able to shut down the Chansey, the Clefable, and then like Wild Charge, pretty good for the rest of his team, especially if I can get up Toxic Spikes here. Mismagius also looks like he can just straight up win the game, because yeah, he doesn't really have great responses to it. Like I said, can also shut down the Clefable and the Chansey, potentially the Hippowdon. So yeah, right off the bat, this is looking pretty good. I'm glad he didn't bring the Serp, and definitely thinking that we're probably going to need to win this game with like Coco, Chomp, or Mismagius. So let's start this off here. I do decide to lead with my Fortress against the Kyurem because I know I can take any one hit from it. I was deciding whether I should go for, or should I make this slower? There we go, that might be better. I was deciding whether to go for the Gyro Ball or the Toxic Spike. I decided to go for the Toxic Spike in the end. I know he does have Rapid Spin, however, I think getting that up will be nice in the long run, especially for like the Hippowdon, and it'll also let me see the ability on the Clefable. So after that, if he is Scarfed, I'm fine here because he's locked into Hidden Power Fire, and I can go into my Garchomp here. I'm just going to fire off my Z move. I know he could just go into the Hippowdon and take it really well. However, if he does, he will have that thing poisoned, and then it's going to be difficult unless he has like Heal Bell or something. And having the Hippo poison for the game is going to be really nice. So I'm just going to fire off the Z move here against it. He does decide to stay in, and we'll find out if he has HP investment. He doesn't, and it goes right down there. So we're getting rid of the Kyurem turn 3 was actually huge, because that was like the biggest threat to my team for sure. Now he goes into Celesteela. I'm just going to SD up, see what this thing wants to do. I was decently scared of like an offensive Celesteela, so I don't want to let this thing just start getting to set up for free. So I just SD up here. I had the Fire Fang for it, and he just went for the Leech Seed. Now he switches out into his Clef. I go for the Fire Fang, and by that damage he does reveal to be unaware, and obviously the poison, he takes the poison as well. So he is unaware Clef, which means I do have to switch out into my Alolan Muck. However, him not being Magic Guard is great because now this thing's on a timer as well. I'm just gonna go for the knockoff here, as he does decide to go into his Blastoise. That gets poisoned as well. He does get the Wish, but that's fine. Here I'm just going to switch out into my Mismagius here because I do not want him to get off a Rapid Spin. I want that Hippowdon to be poisoned. So he does just decide to go for the Water Pulse there, and that does reveal to be by the knockoff. I forgot to mention, by the knockoff damage, and obviously the damage on the Water Pulse here, it does reveal to be like fully defensive Blastoise, and he has no special attack. So we take that decently. Does still do a good chunk. However, here I'm just going to fire off an Energy Ball as he switches into his Chansey. That gets poisoned as well. He probably thinks he can kind of wall this, but I do have the Taunt, so we're going to be able to shut this Chansey down completely, which is honestly really great. Now I figure he's going to switch here, so I'm just going to fire off a Shadow Ball and hit whatever I can for as much damage as I can. He does decide to go Celesteela as I go for the Shadow Ball. That does a lot. We do 35% to that, which is great. And I'm just going to switch into my Ho-Oh here as he does fire off the Firium Z. So we take that, we take that so well. And now I'm going to double out here into my Alolan Muck, expecting him to, basically, I don't want him to go into Chansey here and be able to Wish Up or anything to help out his Celesteela or his Blastoise or anything. So, like, obviously he doesn't know I don't have Sacred Fire. However, I don't want to have him go into the Chansey there, so I'm just going to switch into my Alolan Muk. He does just go for the Protect. Now I'm just going to go back into Ho-Oh here, as unfortunately he does miss a Leech Seed, which definitely sucks for him. I'm going to make another switch back out into my Koko this time, as he does just go for a Protect again. So now I'm finally in a position after making kind of a bad decision going into the Muk there. I'm just going to go into the Koko, Wild Charge. I can Wild Charge for free. He has nothing that wants to take it besides the Hippowdon. He goes into that, and now that is poisoned as well, which is great. That's exactly what I wanted. So now I'm just going to go for the U-turn, get out of here. The Hippowdon is poisoned, which is exactly what I wanted. That's perfect. Just going to go into my Mismagius here, expecting an Earthquake or maybe Rocks. He does just go for the Rocks here. And yeah, he does get his Rocks up, which is bad for my Ho-Oh. However, that T-Spike up and getting pretty much everything poisoned here. Yeah, everything poisoned is great. I can just fire off another Shadow Ball here, as he does go into the Celesteela, takes 35% on that. I'm going to go back into the Chansey here. And yeah, obviously immune, but this thing is no problem. I can just taunt it and it gets completely shut down again. He will switch out though into the Blastoise here on my taunt, which is fine. If he goes for the Rapid Spin at this point, I'm okay with it. Heal Bell could be annoying. However, it's fine, because he has to be on something that's not going to taunt it anyway. So I'm just going to switch into my Muk. We take that Water Pulse really well. He's going to go for the Rapid Spin this time, get rid of the Spike, and I'm just going to go for a knockoff here, expecting him to potentially switch out, but he doesn't, and here he does reveal to have the Rest, so that's pretty annoying honestly. However, we can chip him down here. He's probably, I thought he was Rest Sleep Talk. He actually ends up not being Rest Sleep Talk, which is even better. Just going to go for another Poison Jab as he switches into the Celesteela here, and he goes for a Leech Seed, misses it, and I go for a knockoff and crit it. So that was definitely, like, he already missed the Leech Seed before. That's definitely super unfortunate for him, missing that Leech Seed, and then the knockoff would not have killed. I just wanted to chip the Celesteela down a bit, even though he would have got a decent amount back with the Leech Seed. I didn't want to go into... I really didn't want to switch there, so I just wanted to go for the knockoff and get him a little bit more weakened. However, I do crit the knockoff, which sucks for him for sure. He definitely got pretty unlucky this game. We'll go to the Hippowdon now. I'm going to switch back into my Mismagius. This Spin could have Stone Age, however, I'm pretty sure it killed from here. I didn't actually calc it. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't, but either way, he decides to switch out. I'm just going to go for a Shadow Ball again, because he has no switch into the Shadow Ball besides the Chansey, which loses 1v1. And yeah, he just tries to go for another Toxic here. I'm just going to start going for Energy Ball instead of Nasty Plotting, because I don't want to give him like a free switch as I Nasty Plot. I want to be able to hit something and weaken it down, so I'm just going to spam Energy Ball here. It hits Blastoise, it hits the Hippowdon and the Clefable. So that's great. Goes into the Clefable, we get to weaken that again. He's going to switch out again, back into the Chansey as I just go for another Taunt. And again, instead of Nasty Plotting, I'm just going to keep spamming Energy Ball here, because I don't want to let something get a free switch in. And yeah, Mismagius is really putting in the work here. I think we can skip some turns here. He's going to Protect on my Taunt. Now he'll switch out into the Mega Blastoise as I just go for another Taunt here. Gonna switch out. Oh no, I'm not gonna switch out. I'm just gonna go for the Energy Ball. Weaken this. I just want to weaken everything. At this point, like Koko, if I can get rid of the Hippowdon, Koko wins. And then the Garchomp's also looking really great at this point, because the Clefable is weakened as well. So I'm fine with my Mismagius going down at this point, because of the Garchomp in the back. Pretty much just wins it at this point. So he does go for a Stone Age, misses that. He got really unlucky for sure. Again, I don't know if it killed. I think it killed. However, just getting the Hippowdon as low as possible in range with Garchomp was all I needed to do there. Mismagius is really putting in the work here. He can't win at this point. I completely stop the chance here. Just going to go for a bunch of Energy Balls so the Clefable doesn't get a free swap. And that goes down. He goes into his Clefable. I taunt it just so he can't wish or anything. And then from here I can just go for a Shadow Ball, which doesn't kill, but in combination with the Poison will. So unfortunately, one less kill for Mismagius there. However, I believe Mismagius still picked up 4 kills this game. which was insane. So Mismakius is like the kill leader of the entire league 2 weeks in, which I think is awesome, with it being an Ubers league. But yeah, anyway, GG to Popplio. He definitely got really unlucky in that game, which sucked. It would have been probably a bit closer if that wouldn't have, or if he didn't get so unlucky. However, I still think I would have had it regardless. Mismagius, again, like, just showing how good it is. Completely shutting down his entire team, I thought was amazing. And yeah, we do pick up the 5-0 win here against Popplio. In terms of like a key moment in the game, I think him staying in against my Garchomp turn 3 or whatever, and letting the Kyurem-Black go down was huge, because that was such a problem for my team, and that just being out the way turn 3 was definitely great for me, and really opened up the game, because that was such a threat. So yeah, anyways, GG to Popplio again. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all for week 3. Peace.